But then I guess then that it's like, do you question that person's love for you?
No, they can love you and not want to have anything to do with your family.
No, not your family, just like your culture, the things that make you you.
That's a good question. Maybe somebody in the audience can answer it because I don't have an answer for that. Like, I feel like intuitively, I feel like if I loved somebody, I want to know everything that there is to know about them. I want to know them inside and out. That's just me and how I roll.
Yeah.
Um, so if I'm invested in this relationship, then yeah, I'm going to make it a point to learn about your culture because that's important to you. Um, Now, for other people, it could be different. It could be that's the past, and all I'm interested in is what's going on right now. Like if you're talking about your culture, I'll listen and I'll entertain you, but it doesn't mean that I have to do all the things. But again, maybe that does come back to whether they truly love you or not. That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah, because it is a great question, but it's like how like I don't know if a person actually ever did love you if they don't try to understand you. Like
And that
learning,
is yeah, that's a great understanding.
like learning your culture, learning your upbringing, whether you're like I'm like Haitian, learning dating a Black American, and we understand the differences in the culture, we understand the differences in the food and everything, but still understanding me trying to learn everything about your family, your mother, your brother, your father, and that side of your culture is because it's not only do I care about I don't necessarily per se care about them, but I care about you, and they played a role in your upbringing. They played a role in the character that you are. You, by all means, were your own person. We're all our
Right.
own people, but
Right.
everybody around us had a little bit of part in molding and shaping us into the person that
For
I,
sure.
the person I love or I want to be with at this time. So I'm going to basically try and learn them and learn that individual. And I'm just trying to wrap my mind about is it normal or is that abnormal for people not to want to learn a person that you're trying to date and learn their where they came from. It's like watching a movie. It's like watching a movie or reading a book. You got to understand the beginning in order for you to like and love the character
Right.
within the
To
film.
understand what's going on right now. Yeah.
Exactly. What brought them to this point? What brought them to sit at the cross from you at this dinner
Right.
table? And it's like somewhere down the line, something led them to that point where now you're sitting at the table and you like something about them. And for some people, may not even know what it is about themselves. And so that's like always I often wondered if that was like a weird trait of mine or a weird like thing I expected from people because either that's too romantic or I'm just living in
Mm.
cloud nine or something. Because it's like I would automatically assume that that's what you do because you like or you love a person. You gonna learn everything about them because
Right.
what all of those good and bad things make them the person that you fall for to this day. So that's just my mentality on it. So I don't really know,
But
but
that kind of goes back to what we touched on when we were talking the other day. Like for a lot of Black African Americans, whatever you want to call us, um, learning about other people's cultures can be a triggering thing because, like I said before, it's a reminder for a lot of us that we don't have a connection to our own culture. Like we have American culture, fried chicken and watermelon and Juneteenth and all of these American things that we have learned. Um, but when you connect with somebody that's from another place that has its own defined culture, it really can kind of be triggering. Like, oh, you have these traditions and you have this long line of stuff that you guys do and these songs and these stories and all of this. And I don't have all that. And so for a lot of people, it can be like, yeah, no, I don't want to learn about your stuff because your stuff is a reminder of the stuff that I don't have access to. And I don't want to dig into that.
it kind of makes sense. That is a sad factor going into it because, like you said, we're not aware of it. While we take pride in our culture, we're not aware of that impact that may actually affect other people in the thought process of dating. other people outside of their culture, where it's like I said, it's easier to date somebody within that, like you said, in a situation like that, where I can date somebody who has the same understanding, the same level of trauma, so to
Mm.
speak, than to date someone else who's going to remind me of something that, whether it's their fault, it's not their
Right.
fault at all, but
Right.
it's a reminder of my ancestry, my lineage, and things like that. And it can be, in a sense, for some people, very debilitating and uncomfortable, and a constant reminder of the lack of heritage and history that they have. Never thought about it like that before. We all should take heed and understand that, when we are very proud of ourselves, to try to be mindful that everybody else doesn't have what we have. A story,
Yeah.
a story, a story that basically in our past to tell children and grandchildren and stuff like that. Some people just got it, a especially in the American culture, when we as we're getting older and we learn about it, and it's full of like a lot of sadness, and it's like, yeah, they wouldn't, like in African culture, Jamaican, a Haitian, a Trinidadian. It's like at the end of the day, we still had our own place to be ourselves and to
Right.
do the things that we wanted to do. Whereas as a Black American, it was like you created something because that was all that was allowed for you to do. Like, I don't understand the whole concept of eating chitlins. Disgusting.
Yep.
But
Me neither. Oh.
but for some people, that's like like I've never gone. Thank God, been to a party or potluck dinner or
Mm.
whatever crap that is,
Mm.
where somebody serves that as a dish. I don't do
Mm.
it. I'm not for it.
Mm. You're lucky. That
Listen,
smell.
I'll eat
Mm.
some ribs or something like that. You know what I mean? I mess up some ribs all day, but I'm not. Nah, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Just that word just makes me.
I saw it.
Sorry.
I saw it in the store one day. Somebody, I got a friend of mine where they cook it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's. And my mom was like, nah, that's slave food. I'm not eating that. No, I'm not privy to that. I'm not. That
Right.
was not in my culture to eat. I'm not eating that. Not now. Not ever. But at
Yeah.
the point in time, I like, you know what I mean. It's like I gotta be more sensitive because that's your culture.
Intercultural dating. You go to a family get together and they have pig's feet and hogs mogs and chitlins and all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we made you a plate."
Nah, thank you. Respectfully, thank you, but I don't.
Really?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. I'm okay. Or I just.
Oh gosh.
Because it's like, yo, but it's like that though. It really is like that, and I've been in that situation where it's just like, yeah, it's like that though. It's like that on a different front on a lot of people's food. Where I'm just like, other coaches like yo, like other culture, I love eating other people's culture food because it's like something to learn. But then when it comes to that Black American stuff, that like I do the collard greens. You got me there all day. I'm messing up the collard greens. Don't bring none of that chitlin stuff over here. I do the ribs, I do the burgers and all that. You know what I'm saying? Soul food cooking, I mess with that. But you keep that. I don't eat y'all pork. I eat my pork. The only pork I eat from y'all is the ribs. I don't mess with nothing else. Nothing else. But then I'm just saying it's that thing. Like when I went to Africa, they do they're big on their meats and stuff like that, and they're big on their jerky and the dry meats. And I'm not a big jerky fan. I'm not a big jerky fan. I don't really care for it. But it's in the culture, so I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna do it. But there's certain stuff there. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it, but I'm a big person on smell too. So if it don't smell right to me, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I just can't. And so it is the intercultural dating. Like, so for the Haitian culture, we got this thing called soup jumu, which we drink every year, and it is a representation of us. Of us, basically, we used to make it for the slave masters, and that was something we could never do, and we created it,
Mm.
and they made it, and they tried to claim it themselves. So when we got our independence, that's a thing we do every year to celebrate our independence. To celebrate, we set ourselves free. So every and like I said, every household, that is Haitian does it.
So, but what is it?
It's
You
called
did. You just
it's
drink
called
it.
no,
What is it?
it's soup jumu, so it's mixed with it can either be chicken, beef, or pork or whatever, and it's got like noodles in it, carrots, some celery, and it's just like a thick, healthy, hearty soup, and it's really good.
Oh, okay.
And it's like we get it every year. Haitian restaurant sells it. People at home are making it by like this big old tub thing. Cause yo, is you can't just have one bowl, right? But that's a part of our culture, though, man. Like that's our thing. Every
Yeah.
year across the board is not going to be shaken. Everybody's getting it. You got to get it. And it's like for some of us, it's really deep. It's like, yo, you won't have a good year if you don't get you some soup before January hits. January 1st, everybody's looking for the soup. Somebody's making it. Everybody's looking for it before like seriously, man, you listen. You gotta get your like. It'd be like for me at one point. It was like, bro, there's a time frame. Dog. The clock is ticking. I got 7 days to get this soup. Otherwise, my
Oh.
year's gonna be crap. And that's just my mentality. So I don't
Mhm.
know how everybody else is, but it's like, yo, you gotta get that soup. Though come January, the month of January, you gotta get it before the month is out. You gotta get it at some point. You feel me? And
Yeah.
and that's our culture though. That's our culture, and